Good morning. Happy Monday. It is like 4:30 a.m. Today is the day that we are placing the port. I'm really excited, but I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest. I'm not even nervous about like being in pain or anything like that. I really am only nervous about like mast cell reaction or like my problem with anesthesia. They are going to go ahead and do the twilight sedation, which I've had really bad experiences with in the past. I think that the biggest thing is that I need to just try to stay calm during it. I don't know how asleep I'm going to be. Usually when they try to put me to sleep, they have to kind of wake me up. So I'm planning on being kind of awake and feeling a lot of it because I don't really react well to local anesthetics. So I think I might definitely have to test out some of my meditation techniques today. But in the end, I really feel like it's all going to be worth it, and I'm really excited. Pre-meds, check. Hair braided, check. No jewelry, check. I think it's time to go. Alright guys, this is it. I am off to the OR. I just met with my team and they are absolutely fantastic. I love them. I feel so much better after having talked to them. They've seen EDS patients before. They've seen mast cell patients before. They assured me that everything is going to be.
Oh, you have your own business card.
Yeah.
Look at that.
We are going home. Here's my little port bandage. And then I also have another incision up here where they had to go into the jugular vein to thread the port down through. I'm feeling pretty good and I'm really happy to go home. I'm super exhausted, so I can't wait to get some rest. Overall, it went really well, and the bad news is that I still have my PICC line in. So now I'm going home with just one more little gadget. I thought I was ditching it. Hopefully sometime in the next week we can get the port access to make sure that it works, and then I can get the PICC line pulled out. I just woke up from a nap. As soon as I got home from the procedure, I fell asleep because I was just so exhausted. I had only gotten 2 hours of sleep and it gave me a bunch of sedatives. I am in so much pain. Whenever I move or breathe, it really hurts. Plus my jaw is like dislocated on one side and not really allowing me to open it. But I'm still so glad and so thankful that we were able to finally do this, to finally get this done. Hello you guys, it is Tuesday now, so it is my first full day with my new port. There are 2 incisions. There is one up here in my jugular vein, which you can't see very well, and there's one down here where the actual port is. And yes, I do still have my PICC line. Apparently the doctor wrote an order for them to place the port, but not for them to remove the PICC line, so they weren't able to do that. Which in the end I'm kind of happy with. That'll just give the port a little bit of time to heal, and we can access it and make sure it works, make sure it flushes through correctly before we go and take out my other line. So, no shower for me quite yet. I definitely want to make a whole video about my experience with the port and having it placed. Obviously, I want to wait a little while until I have used it for a while and I have more information for you. So we did do it under twilight sedation, but it really wasn't much of a sedation. I was fully conscious the whole time. They just gave me a little bit of Benadryl, a little bit of Versed, which helps you kind of calm down, and fentanyl, which is a very strong pain reliever. And the great news is that we found a local anesthetic that I am not allergic to. They were kind of worried when they saw that I had a lidocaine allergy and that I had a reaction to Novocaine as well. So they were really nervous about choosing a local anesthetic. As we were going over some of the different local anesthetic options, I remembered that I had a compounded pain cream that I've been using on my jaw in my bag. So we got that out And it turns out that that actually had a local in it called bupivacaine. So we were able to use that for the procedure, and it actually worked really, really well. So it's kind of my first experience ever with a local anesthetic actually kind of numbing me. That being said, it was still painful, and I felt everything that he was doing. It was just duller. Like I could feel it, but it wasn't as like sharp pain, if that makes any sense. I could feel him making the incision, and I can feel him, you know, putting the port in and moving it around and stuff like that. But it only hurt a little bit, and when it did start to hurt, the anesthesiologist gave me a little bit extra medication. So it was pretty bearable, and probably one of the best procedure experiences that I've ever had, to be honest. I didn't really expect the pain to affect me quite as much as it is. I figured I'd be sore in the area and then my arm would be sore, but I really can barely turn over in bed. I think it's mostly because I just had all of the muscles in the back of my neck cut, and now I have some of the muscle cut in the front. I mean, they did stitch the port right into the muscle itself, so it makes sense that it would hurt, and I just need to learn to be patient and just try to relax and do some meditation. That's another really cool thing, is one of the anesthesiologists who is in the room with me is actually really into the app Headspace as well. So during the moments when I was getting kind of like nervous, and there's like a part when they get kind of to the heart and your heart starts to get fluttery, and I always get kind of anxious during that, even during like the PICC placements. So she had her phone and she put the Headspace app on, and she put it on the table next to my ear so I could listen to that and try to relax, which was so sweet of her. Everybody was so sweet. There was another nurse anesthetist, and she just talked to me the entire time, and like whatever I needed, if I needed a little bit of extra medication or whatever, she listened to me. She was great. She knew all about EDS. I don't know, I'm just so lucky. I got the best team, and you guys know what a difference it makes when you have the right team. You never know what you're gonna get. It's really cool because this brace, it's the CTO, so it's a cervical and thoracic brace. It goes down to about my waist. But there's this cool little mechanism here that you can adjust the angle that this sits on your chest. And now I have it adjusted so that I can have a nice little gap between the brace and the bandages so that it's not pushing up against them. And that's so amazing, because I was a little bit worried, especially about the jugular site, that it was going to be really painful to have to wear the brace with it. Also, update on my jaw situation, it just seems to be getting worse and worse, and I figured like as I started weaning out of the neck brace that things would get better, but things seem to actually be getting worse. I feel like I can't hold my mouth closed, and I can't keep my jaw in place unless I have the brace supporting it. I almost feel like the clenching is a side effect of the real problem, and I'm thinking the real problem might actually be weakness. Yesterday during the procedure, they had me take off my brace, and immediately my jaw started feeling fatigued. And then as soon as they started giving me the Benadryl, giving me something to relax, my jaw just kind of completely like dislocated on this side, and it was spasming so much my teeth were chattering. So we had to do the whole procedure with me biting down on this piece of gauze to try to keep my jaw and neck still. So we emailed my dentist, and it looks like in the next few weeks we are going to have to make a trip back down. I'm wondering if maybe a lot of things changed after my last surgery because he repositioned my skull and my upper vertebra. The splints just don't seem to be fitting the way that they were. Everything's in a little bit of a different position. We will have to see. I will keep you updated. Oh, guys, I tell you, I did not expect this port placement procedure to knock me down so hard. I think that maybe I just had a really long week last week and I pushed myself really hard, and then I had this procedure, and I don't really feel like it's the procedure itself. I feel like it is just the way that my body is reacting to it, to the medications, to the pain, to the physical stress I've definitely ended up with a bit of a mast cell and dysautonomia response to that. I've literally been sleeping the last 2 days. I slept all of yesterday. I was just totally wiped out and in a lot of pain. And then today, I, got up, I packed up a couple Etsy orders, slept, got up, went outside for like a few minutes, and then came back in and slept and woke up. And now it's like 7 o'clock and I'm taking more meds and hopefully they don't knock me out again. Anyway, that's basically my update for today. Tomorrow, a nurse is coming to change my PICC line dressing and to also access my new port for the first time. So I'm really excited about that. I hope that everything goes well. I'm sure it will. I think our plan is going to normally be for them to come and access it on Monday, and then I will do fluids Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I can de-access myself and have Friday, Saturday, Sunday as free days. But I think maybe this time if she accesses it tomorrow's Thursday, I could keep it accessed until next Thursday when I finish my infusions then. So I guess no free showers and swimming until then. They said I couldn't swim for 2 weeks after anyway, so I mean, whatever. Next Thursday night, I have a date with my shower. Guys, the nurse just got here, and we are going to try to access my port for the first time, so I'm super excited. I really hope this goes well. Hi guys! It's now later in the day. I am officially accessed for the very first time. Everything went really smoothly and it flushed really well. We got good blood return, so I'm very pleased with that. I'm feeling really sick. I was feeling okay earlier, but as the day has gone on, I've just started to feel sicker and sicker. I don't really know what's going on. I suspect that it might have something to do with the fact that I am decreasing my Valium dose, my muscle relaxant. I'm not really noticing any negative symptoms with like tight muscles, but I think just my body is very sensitive to medications. So I think my body got a little bit used to having that medication, and now that I have a lower dose of it in my system, I feel not so great. I just can't even believe that I finally have a port, and it's accessed, it works, it's awesome, that's so great. I'm gonna run fluids with it overnight tonight to try it out. That's another reason why I might be feeling really sick. I didn't run any fluids last night, even though I was supposed to, because when I went to flush my PICC line, the extension, like part of it had cracked. So when I went to flush it, like right at the tip, there was some leaking. So I figured, well, if something can get out, something can get in. So I made sure I just immediately just clamped it off below that spot and didn't touch it until today when she changed out the extension. This is what I have been doing with the pregnancy pillow for my sore arms and shoulders. I've been like draping it up over my head. I'm lying on wedge pillows and on a heat pad. But I'm draping it up over my head and then I'm like hugging it with my arms. So I'm just this little floating head. Alright, I'm gonna go try to rest. Bye! It is super late now, you guys. But I wanted to document this moment. I am hooking up my fluids for the night for the first time to my port instead of my PICC line. I personally choose to run my fluids overnight. That way it's just one less thing that I'm tethered to during the day. But yay, I'm so excited. No more having to sleep with my arm perfectly straight, because apparently if you bend your elbow, the fluids don't run right. I'm gonna go now because I can't do this with one hand. Good night. And once again, I just like slept for an entire day. In my defense, I did have PT this morning. My physical therapist finally returned from her vacation. And luckily I was able to get the PT clearance for lower body PT as long as we didn't do anything with the arm, with the port. I just felt like a completely different person walking in there than walking out. I was feeling like really not myself. I was having heart rate issues and I was not digesting well, and I was just like overheating so easily. I was super cranky, which isn't like me. So I just knew something was off, but she does some kind of crazy magic, and she works really well with the autonomic nervous system, getting it to calm down, getting your body to relax. And so naturally, I totally crashed when I got home. My sister was like laughing at me because I was like weeping and like laughing, and I just like could not control my emotions. I was just delirious. But now I'm feeling much better. Of course, now it's the middle of the night. Oh, and a lot of you guys are asking about updates on sleeping Christina and whether or not she was kind of calming down a little bit and being a little bit less of a pain. And the answer is absolutely not. She's totally escalating her behavior. Not only am I waking up without my jaw splints in, but a couple nights ago I woke up without my neck brace on. And like it was like on the other side of the room. Like I clearly did not want to be wearing it. And then just now, when I just woke up from this nap, I woke up because I was undoing my feeding tube from the Mickey button. I woke up like the second it started like leaking on me, and I stopped it super fast. But like, what the heck? I don't know if I need to see a sleep specialist or if I need therapy. But I'm honestly like a little bit tempted to get like a night vision camera and see what the heck I'm getting up to in the middle of the night. Obviously I'm not sleeping well if I'm like getting up and doing things. Guys, I overdid it, and now my port is bleeding. I think I might have torn some of the stitches either on the outside or internally. I really don't want to go to the ER right now. I already have had it for the day. Oh boy. I just really didn't need this right now. But this is what I signed up for when I signed up for port. Now my feeding tube is T-pain. It looks like we're gonna try to de-access it ourselves right now just to see if we can avoid going to the emergency room, and just hopefully once you get the needle out, we can look at it. Hopefully it's just the incision opened up a little bit, and I can put some gauze over it and it'll be okay. That's why they have. Okay, so the on-call nurse talked us through how to de-access it and clean it. We sent her a picture of everything, and the good news is we don't have to go to the ER. Hooray!
And God had it just right, so it was our nurse.
Yeah, it was the perfect nurse, the nurse who saw me last Thursday, so she knew the situation. I'm just so glad we don't have to go to the ER at 2 a.m. And everything looks good. I guess it was just a little bit soon to have it accessed after the surgery. The incision opened up a tiny bit, but not enough that it needed to be seen. I'm going to be using my PICC line. I guess it's a really good thing that I still have that line and that I didn't get that pulled out already. And we are going to try to access it again this Thursday. So I guess I'm learning I just need to be more patient. I was getting kind of hard on myself that I wasn't recovering faster, that I needed to be doing more. There was more things that I needed to get done, and I'm paying for it. Remember, guys, take the time to rest and heal and to recover. I messed up. Of course, I had just thrown on my white tank top. Maybe that's how I did it. Oh well, it'll come out. Okay, so my mom and I were just sitting here, and I said, you know, nothing makes you feel more thankful than not having to go to the ER. And then I like hooked up the saline to my PICC line to flush it, and it would not flush. And I just looked at her like, did I speak too soon? I tried a bunch of different arm positions and stuff, and I did finally get it to flush. And then we looked at each other and we're like, okay, now we're really thankful. Today is not my day, so I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm like too tired to even close out this vlog. I will close out this vlog tomorrow. Hello, it is tomorrow and I am here to close out this vlog. I apologize if this entire vlog was just me talking about the port, but that's kind of all I did this week. But the cool thing is I have been able to spend more and more time this week out of my neck brace, which is super nice. Anyway, this vlog is getting too long. So if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, it would be awesome if you would subscribe. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!